What is up, YouTube, and welcome to this Deadpool video. So this will be a spoiler review, so there will be some spoilers in here, of course. Actually, there'll be quite a lot, because I feel that I prefer doing spoiler reviews than just standard reviews. To be honest, I don't feel I can go into in depth as much as I can. But if you're new to the channel, please do consider leaving a like down below and subscribing with notifications on if you enjoyed the video, and checking out our social media stuff down below. So Deadpool 2, wow, just wow is all I'm going to say at the moment. This has been I think this is going to be a very controversial film, definitely, because they've done some stuff here which is almost Mandarin level from Iron Man 3. And to be honest, this movie was a bit of a shock. I was just rereading New Mutants and, of course, X-Force just before the movie came out. I was rereading all that to get myself ready, prepped, ready for a new X-Force film. But, yeah, they do some weird stuff here. But overall, the film, in my opinion, was really good. It's a great sequel. It is. They build upon everything from the first film. They build upon the emotional connection. One thing I would have really liked was the fact that maybe Vanessa would have been a bit more welcome in the movie, to be honest. I think having her in the movie would have been a bit better than having just one female character mainly throughout the movie. It would have been nice to have Vanessa throughout. Let's not forget that she is, or was, an absolute badass. So she is a fighter. She was I think she was like an assassin, kind of like Wade Wilson in the first film. So let's not forget that she is really kind of strong, and not like physically strong, but she can hold her own in a fight. And I think maybe including her in X-Force would have been really good. But of course, you do need a motivation. You do need a motivation for the character, and that is what we got in the opening kind of few scenes, which we just see good old Deadpool absolutely screw his life up. He's going off and living a life of crime, not crime, but living his life of being an assassin while having his superpowers. He's very much an anti-hero, or an anti-hero in as much that he is blurring the lines. He is very much a mutant justice dealer guy, but he doesn't do it the way that the X-Men do it, which is very Boy Scout cookie cutter way, very virginal way, as he says throughout the movie. But the opening scene is stunning. Now, of course, we didn't really get much of the Deadpool we know and love in the first film, in more the fact that it was very much, we had some early scenes of him fighting, and then later on, and then the end kind of parts of the movie. But this is very much Deadpool throughout the entire movie. So we start off with him killing just so many crime families throughout, and to the tune of Dolly Parton's Working 9 to 5, which was absolutely hilarious. So while Vanessa did die early on, it did provide a catalyst for this all to move forward, and one would hasten to think that perhaps she is very much his Lady Death, but everything was retconned by the end of the movie, so she wouldn't really be playing that version of Lady Death whatsoever. But I did really like the opening credits. So while everything happened, we had Deadpool blow himself up, and we got a very James Bond opening, absolutely hilarious, to the song sung by Celine Dion, another famous Canadian. I think she's Canadian. I know she's French-Canadian. I'm not sure. I don't think she's fully French. I don't know. I just love Celine Dion so much. I absolutely love her. So I'm glad we got to see her in this, and we got to see, very much like the music video that we had with Celine Dion, we had the dancers throughout this, and it was absolutely hilarious. With the usual women that we get in the openings to James Bond, we got, well, Deadpool playing all of those roles here. So really good. Really good thing here. I'm not so sure about the motivation for the entire movie, so I felt like some parts were a bit weak. Where we got Cable, he went back in time, we got him, we didn't get enough of Cable, and here Cable, he's just not like he is in the comics or the animated series. He felt a bit flat. Now, that is a shame because Josh Brolin did so well as Thanos. I kind of feel that Cable wasn't written that well. And really, I feel that the ensemble cast got in the way just a bit of the Cable Deadpool dynamic we really wanted. This was very much a Deadpool movie, and Cable just happened to be in it as the catalyst and reason why this kid is being chased. So it is a shame that we never got that. We didn't get the Cable Deadpool comic adaptation, which many of us felt we were going to get, and that was a bit of a shame there. I think it would have been a great thing that we just have those two having to team up without the rest of Domino, etc. But Domino was really good in the movie, so I'm a bit torn. So I guess it went well. If it didn't go well, if Domino didn't provide some great moments, along with Colossus as well, well then maybe that was a bit of a problem. But the rest of the movie was really good. I really enjoyed it. It was just a fun experience. It's just the whole Cable thing was a bit off, and we never really got to learn much more about Cable at all. Of course, Cable is the son of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor, who was a clone of Jean Grey, and he was sent to the future for his own protection, and he had a techno-organic virus, which was a hybrid of Mr. Sinister and, of course, Apocalypse, which is quite interesting because there's a huge Mr. Sinister reference in this movie. Of course, the house, the orphanage that we did have Fire Fist, and it turned out that Domino was there. Well, it's quite curious the fact that it's called Essex House, which was a pseudonym for Mr. Sinister, and we did see that at the end of X-Men Apocalypse, when we had the absolutely now iconic, amazing, best part of the movie where we saw Weapon X being created. That was then a post-credit scene where all the Weapon X information and all that kind of weird sort of DNA was taken by Mr. Sinister, who was a Victorian geneticist of mutants and was empowered by Apocalypse himself. So it's quite interesting there that this is another big thing, a kind of mutant sort of, I would say, anti-mutant conversion therapy place was called Essex House. It's just really, really weird. And we've got Cable as well, who is a kind of real hater, or he hates Apocalypse and Mr. Sinister as well. So it's really odd that that's been included. So Cable has been changed quite a lot. Now, he did have a daughter. He had an adopted daughter in the comics called Hope, and he had the toy with her of the teddy bear, and in the comics she was the first mutant to be born after Scarlet Witch said no more mutants, and he took her to the future for safekeeping. But here he has a normal family, which I guess works well in this context. It works well in the sheer fact that they end up working together because they both have similar things, very much like a Martha moment, which was referenced in this movie as well, which was pretty hilarious. Now, very, very strong points throughout. Dopinder, bigger role. TJ Miller, fantastic. Domino, Zazie Beetz as Domino, just amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just really, really good there. All the references to the X-Men, just superb. Cerebro, Professor X's chair. And weirdly, we also see the X-Men. We see the current crop of X-Men. Not the ones from X-Men 1, 2, and 3. But we see the crop from New Class, Apocalypse. We've got Quicksilver, Beast. And part of these see the door close on them, just as Wade is mentioning all the other X-Men. Like, where are they all? And part of me is thinking that's in his head, because this doesn't fit. This is a different timeline. It's just completely different to the timeline that we've got right now, because this is very much a present day movie. So that doesn't fit, and I think that's just very much in his head, because he's got a bit insane. Of course, he breaks the fourth wall all the time. The major stuff here, the huge stuff. So trailers are being misleading. Trailers are beyond misleading, and especially, of course, with good old Infinity War. Now, Infinity War gave us what seemed like a completely different movie. We had all of the Avengers and the rest of the Wakandan soldiers running to the screen. We had Hulk in the movie. Hulk busting out of the Iron Man Hulkbuster suit. We had him running with the rest of the Avengers. And a lot of the trailer was edited completely differently. This is no different with Deadpool. we were led to believe that X-Force like that was going to be a major fighting force. So we would lead X-Force to fight against Cable, Nathan Summers, but this is not what happened. This really is not what happened. They all perished very quickly. We had the Vanisher, Brad Pitt, die. Peter died, although he was retconned to actually survive. Shatterstar, who was from Mojo World, who is actually the son of Dazzler, who has been heavily hinted at to be in another X-Men movie, or possibly in Dark Phoenix. He died. He perished. We had, of course, the Terry Crews character, who was hinted to be George Washington Bridge, the character who had major beef with Cable, who again historically did work together in flashback scenes in New Mutants / the X-Force comic. So they all perish, and I was just sitting there like, what is going on? Just absolutely bizarre that chain, that major thing just went. But we're getting an X-Force movie, so the X-Force, I think it will be Deadpool, Cable, and Domino. Cable and Domino, of course, were in the X-Force. They were, but then Domino wasn't really Domino, and we finally get a real Domino later in the comics. But I think this is very much the real Domino here. And really, it was this group that would then go on and try and change the future by saving this kid and kind of reaching out to this kid, Fire Fist, who himself was completely different in the comics. Absolutely, it's literally the name of the powers. That is it. That is the original version was just a normal dude, and it was just really different. But what is really crazy is the fact that the Juggernaut is in this movie. Now, of course, we know the Juggernaut would have been in the movie because it was leaked on the track listing for the soundtrack, the Deadpool rap, and it was like we got the Juggernaut version as well, Juggernaut rap, which was really funny, and Juggernaut really worked here. And I can see that we did have him work with Fire Fist. Obviously, they would work with the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants and things like that. And he also mentions that he is his kind of brother who could read his mind, which is interesting. There's kind of a stepbrother version here that we had in the comics. So Juggernaut worked really well. The kid, Fire Fist, worked really well. He was absolutely hilarious. Really good acting from that kid. Really good performance. But along the theme of things changing, we did have Black Tom Cassidy, who actually teamed up with Juggernaut. Now, Black Tom Cassidy, I was expecting to release Juggernaut, and then the kid will work with them, and there'll be a three who will fight against the X-Force. But no, Black Tom Cassidy was killed. He was a major character in the comics. He was also in the House of M storyline, major X-Force New Mutants character. But nope, that never transpired. Just weird that they decided to kill all these people off. These major characters in the comic. But overall, I thought it was really good. We did have the grey suit revealed at the end, the X-Force Deadpool suit, and major other Easter eggs such as the icebox as well. But I'm going to do an Easter eggs video. I'm going to break this down a bit more tomorrow, so I'll go into the Easter eggs a bit more in detail. But overall, I thought it was really good. Where they're going to go next, I think that Cable and Domino, as well as Deadpool, will be working together in the X-Force movie. We've got Deadpool 3 coming. Not sure where that's going to go. I might do some possible ideas on that. But that is it for this video. Please drop a like. Please subscribe. I'll see you soon. Goodbye.